Hello, I'm Dr. Boardman. Welcome to Fossil Friday. Today I'm going to show you a few fossils from my personal collection. One of them is from the Ice Age of Louisiana, and two of them are from the Eocene. One is from the latest Eocene of Nebraska and the earliest Eocene of Wyoming. Now the first of these fossils, I have three views here for you. One in dorsal view, one in ventral view, and one in proximal articular view. What I want you to do is to think about what the shape reminds you of and what it might come from. If you have an idea in your head, keep it there. I'm going to give you guys maybe 10 seconds to think about it. Okay. Can you guess what it comes from and what part of the body this might be? I know the pictures are going to be a big hint. So it's a first phalanx, or what we refer to as the proximal phalanx. It would be that first little segment in your finger, that first little joint bit. And it comes from a horse, actually. So during the Ice Age, North America had tons and tons of horses all over the place, including in Louisiana. And as a young man, I found quite a large number of fossils in areas around St. Francisville in Louisiana, where there are lots of creeks, and in the creek beds you would find fossils from the Pleistocene, the Ice Age. Fossil number 2. Again, I have a number of views for you to see it in. You can see the articular surfaces on the dorsal view and the ventral view. I'll give you about 10 seconds to think about what you might think that might be, and you might start to notice a trend. Again, this is an element from a foot or a hand, however you want to think about it. Again, it's a proximal phalanx, and in this case, it comes from one of a number of rhinos that were common in Nebraska in the latest Eocene. It could be Subhyrachodon or Trigonius. They're roughly the same size. Very, very common. Fossil number 3. Now this one's a lot smaller than the other two that I've shown you, and you're going to get it in a dorsal and ventral view. Sort of nondescript little squat thing. And if you've noticed the trend, it's also going to be a phalanx. It's either a proximal or medial phalanx. It's kind of hard to tell. The critter that it's coming from is actually kind of large. Not as large as, say, the horse or the rhinos that I just shown you, but still quite large. And it has really squat little toes. It's got a plantigrade stance, and in this case, it comes from a thing called Coryphodon, which would be sort of analogous to a hippopotamus, but in the earliest Eocene, so about 53 million years ago in Wyoming. And that is all I have for you today. So if you have questions or comments, click below and let me know what you think. Goodbye.